In this episode of John's Arcade, we're going to be revisiting the Journey. That's right, guys, part number 18 of the Journey restoration, and this one is all about the game and the gameplay. And then we're going to come back to the table and do viewer mail, and then also in this episode, guys, I need to thank you. I'm going to be thanking you in this episode. All right, guys, let's get on with the show. Hey guys, we are in the basement and today we're gonna do a John's Arcade gameplay review, guys. That is right, and you know what? We're gonna get some closure in this video, guys, because this is going to be part number 18 of the Journey restoration. You know, I've been meaning to do this video for a long time, and actually you guys, a few of you have asked me about this, like, hey John, at the end of part number 17 on the Journey Restore, you said you were gonna do a gameplay video. Where is it? You never did that video. And for those that don't know, guys, you know, we restored this Journey, okay? When we got it, it was a jammed golf game. It was like Birdie King, and it was an absolute pile of junk. And well, we spent a lot of time in the garage together, didn't we, guys? We were in the garage a lot. And actually 17 videos, about 23 hours of video. I documented like literally everything that we did on this journey, and it was kind of epic, and I'm very, very proud of this restore. It's probably, I think it's safe to say, this is my best work to date. So in this video, guys, we are gonna finally sit down and play that game, and this is gonna be the long-awaited part number 18 of the Journey restoration. And you know what, again, if you missed the first 17 parts, and if you've got 23 hours to burn, go back and watch those videos. I actually made a playlist too, which is nice and handy. But before we start, I need to address one thing. One very, very, very important thing, guys. And I want you guys to notice that I'm kind of like all the way back here right now. And now I'm like hiding behind Cubert, and now I'm just like out of the picture, right? Well, guys, guess what? Today, I came home from work and it was like Christmas, guys, and it's all because of you guys. It really is. You guys helped me get my wireless microphone, and I am just jazzed because this thing is gonna be freaking awesome on this channel. So I really, really, really feel it's very important that I thank you guys, because I really want to do that, because you guys are just beyond generous, and I'm very grateful, I'm very thankful. I don't take this for granted, and I just truly appreciate it, and I want to thank those that I can, those that I know that have donated, and I just want to do this. It's going to take a couple minutes, but I just feel it's very important because you guys have been very supportive of my channel, and you're helping me make it better, and I'm going to commit to making these videos as long as I can, and with your support, I definitely will. So I want to thank everybody. So I'm going to go through the list here very fast, okay? I really want to do this because I truly am thankful. And so the first ones I'm going to read here are from my PayPal address, okay? So Jim Lebig, let's see, Gary Woodruff. Actually, I need to thank Gary because Gary is a pretty special guy. You see, Gary sent me a wireless microphone, like the whole setup, okay? But the one that he sent me was the one with the big AC-powered receiver, okay? And I couldn't use it because it's the kind that you would use on stage, like with a band, you know, where you'd plug it into a console. It's like a really big AC-powered thing. And Gary sent me that, not really sure if it was what I wanted or didn't want, and I emailed him. I'm like, Gary, this is really generous, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I have to send this back because I'm not going to use it. I can't use this one because the one I need it needs to be battery powered, one that I can hook onto my camera. And by the way, let me show you what it is. So this is the Sennheiser ENG set. It's the G3. It's the EW100. This is the receiver right here. Okay, and the receiver is just this little guy here. It kind of goes on my belt. And it comes with a little lavalier microphone. I'd like to know, guys, if you think the audio quality is better, too. And then it comes with this is the transmitter. Sorry, did I say receiver? This is the transmitter, okay? So this goes on my belt, and it's got this lavalier that plugs on my shirt. And then there's a receiver that looks exactly like this, like literally the same thing. And that right now is sitting on top of my camera. It's mounted in the little camera shoe. So it's now like kind of part of my camera. And so that's it. So it's just these two pieces, and it's just a terrific setup. And I've been drooling and just reading up about this because I truly just wanted this setup. And thanks, guys. Pretty cool, right? But Gary sent me the big one, and I sent it back. And so, Gary, I want to thank you for all that effort you put into that, because you're just a super guy. And then I also want to thank Chris Kilgore. I'm going to go as fast as I can here. And Neil Hawkley from the UK. Thank you, Neil. So those are the ones that were sent to my PayPal. And then on YouTube, you know, we have the little support thing. And if you use the support function on my YouTube homepage, and if you leave a comment while you're leaving a donation, you'll get a little support tag next to your name, and it'll be on my homepage under discussions. But if you don't leave a comment, I don't know who you are, because in my Google Wallet thing, it just says payment received and amount. It doesn't say who sent it, so it's really strange, which I don't like. But if you do leave a comment, I do know who you are, and I'm going to quickly thank you, okay? Because, again, I feel this is important. So, Billy Albers, thank you for your generous, this guy sent me a very generous donation. Billy, thank you very much. I'm going to go as fast as I can, guys. I know this is probably lame if you don't really care about this. Ron H, a.k.a. Rocker to be. Thank you, Ron. Tarantulas, thank you. Billy Albert. Jet Set Baroni, thank you. Jeff Brinkley, thank you. I'm going as fast as I can. Ron again, let's see. Burn 646. William Long, thank you. Jeff Patora, thank you, Jeff. Mike Martin, thanks, pal. Thanks for the donation. Mike Salomon, thank you. Salomon. Russell Brown, thanks, Russell. Slick Ends, thank you very much for the donation. So again, thank you guys for making this microphone happen. And I think that might be all the ones that I can see on my homepage. So if I missed you and you're on the homepage, I really apologize. But again, thanks, guys. This microphone is going to be put to good use, I assure you, and it's going to be used in every one of the videos going forward. I think once I get used to this, I'll never be able to go back to that wired microphone ever again. So, all right, enough of that. Thanks again. All right, so let's get to work here. We're gonna play some Journey because it's long overdue, and the game's been down here. Oh, I don't know, about 2-3 months, and so I've had a chance to play it a bunch. Have I played it a ton? Nah, enough. You know, it's you know, when you have a lot of games down here, it's kind of easy to kind of lose focus on stuff. But I played it a bunch, and I do like looking at it though. I really do. I'm always just, I can't believe I did that. It looks so good, and I love the topper. And what was it? Matt from Clove sent me that, and that's kind of a time period perfect piece. That was from an 80s arcade that says, take a journey, high score this week wins their new album Frontier. The attendant must verify the high score. Contest ends on closing Friday. I probably should get a Frontier album, right, and like hang it on the wall next to it so you can actually win it. Actually, that'd be kind of fun at a party if I did that. So, all right, enough blabbing here. So, all right, if you guys are not familiar with Journey, let me tell you. This game came out in 1983. It was released by Bally Midway, and of course, it's based on the band Journey. And if you don't know the band Journey, you know, shame on you. I actually learned through doing these videos and talking to some of the guys from Europe that Journey was not a very big band in Europe. And I actually had no idea. I thought Journey was an international sensation. But, you know, some of the UK guys and the guys in Germany, they really don't know who Journey is, which is just unbelievable to me because they were so big in the 80s. I mean, they're a major part of the 80s soundtrack, you know. I mean, they really defined the sound of arena rock, you know. 80s arena rock with, you know, some synths thrown in, some very 80s sounding synths, and just a big band. And it was a really big part of my childhood. I mean, in 83, I was pretty young. I was like, you know, 11-ish, 10. But that was what we were buying. We weren't buying Katy Perry like the kids today. We were listening to Journey and REO Speedwagon and stuff like that. But so anyway, Bally Midway got the license for Journey, and they made this game right here. And it was designed. This game was designed by Marvin Glass, right? Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was, right? Yeah, Marvin Glass did this. Marvin Glass did like Tapper and Domino Man, and they were like a toy and game development company in the Chicago area. Marvin Glass actually was responsible for, well, they were responsible for a lot of the evergreen toys games like Mousetrap and Operation. And then in the 80s, they kind of got into the video game racket. And one of the guys that worked on this, he actually is an executive now, and maybe even one of the founders of IT, Incredible Technologies, like Golden Tee. And so when I finished this game, when I finished the restore, I actually reached out to them. Because, their names are all over if you look up if you research the game, it'll say who developed it. And I forget the guy's name. There's two guys. One guy did, like the programming. I think it was a husband and wife team, actually. And then there was another guy that did the graphics, and I don't remember, but I actually tweeted some pictures of the game to them. And because right now they're incredible technology guys making Golden Tee. So these guys are still around making games, but I think it's a pretty cool game. And the big hook with this game, well, is the little black and white faces that are on here. Because originally, see that? They actually digitized the band members and put them in the game on these little cartoon sprite bodies. And the story was, originally this game was going to be like, wasn't going to be Journey, actually. It was going to have a camera, and you could take your picture, and then your face would be on the character in the arcade game. And I think they found out pretty quick in test that people were taking some rather inappropriate photos. I'm sure you guys can figure out what they were taking photos of. And that became your character in the game. And they say, well, you know what, we really can't do that on location. So let's take the idea and digitize the Journey members and put them in the game with their real faces. And that's kind of what's cool about it. And the other thing that's cool about Journey is, well, it has a cassette player inside of it. That's right, a real 80s cassette player. And if you guys watch my Journey restoration videos, you would see that I have a legitimate 80s, actually I put a realistic one in here, a Radio Shack one, a little later model, a little more reliable. The one that was in here originally was an Emerson brand, and not a very good player. I actually have the original player, not the exact one that came in this game, but the same model. I bought it on eBay, and it was just a piece of junk. So I put a slightly newer player, a realistic one, which was probably a later 80s Radio Shack model. And those little cassette players were really ubiquitous in the 80s. That was our boombox. That was our hi-fi stereo. The little cassette player that was just like, like that cassette speaker. That's it. It was about that big, had a handle, and everyone had one of those. That was the player. So anyway, why don't we get set up here and let's play a game. We got to play us some Journey. And I want you guys, and by the way, you heard the track sound there? That was the cassette player playing. So during a tract, it'll play, it basically turns the cassette player on, and it'll play the cassette tape just for a little bit, like about 5 seconds. And the song it's playing is Journey's song. It's World Apart, separate. It's actually Separate Ways, World Apart, which was one of their hit songs on the album Frontier. It's funny, I always hear that song on the radio now. like I don't know. It's like I never really noticed that song on the radio until I did this restore, and now I feel like I'm hearing Separate Ways all the time. But the cassette player during a track plays, and you hear the song. And then also in the game, when we get to the end, it'll play much more of the song. So, all right, let's get set up here, and let's play us some Journey from 1983 by Bally Midway. Okay, we're all set up here. So before we start, I do want to show you guys the controls, okay? So Journey has a 4-way joystick, and there's some debate about whether Journey should have a 4-way or an 8-way. I'm here to tell you, original Journey had a 4-way joystick, and this is the right joystick. This joystick actually came from a Burger Time, but it's the same exact joystick that Journey came with. This is pretty much your standard Midway style joystick. You'll find this same joystick on Journey, Domino Man, Burger Time, Tapper. They all have this joystick with the red shaft. Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man had a very similar joystick, but they had a black shaft, but pretty much the same joystick. I love this joystick, actually. It feels really good. It's got a rubber grommet in it. I think we replaced the grommet in the restore. Did we? I don't actually remember. So, 4-way joystick and then one button, which here is labeled Blast. So this is actually a game that you can play very easily in MAME. So if you guys want to check out Journey, boot up MAME and try it out. Yeah, and then, you know, not like Tron. You know, Tron's got some rather crazy controls. This is very hard to play in MAME with a spinner and a flight stick. This game is a game that does play pretty well in MAME, and I used to play it in MAME all the time. So, all right, and we have a 1-player and a 2-player start button, and of course, I have the game on free play, which I try to do with all my games. I have Matt Osborne's free play chip in here, and if you guys remember in the restore video, we burnt that chip. So, Matt, thank you for your free play mod. So, all right, so let's come and start a game. Okay, and basically, there's a little story here. The Journey band members have had their instruments stolen, okay? The Groupoids, which are these futuristic groupies, have stolen their instruments, and so we need to get the instruments back, okay? And basically then we get to play a song on stage while the Groupoids are trying to rush the stage, and you need to protect the stage with the bouncer, who actually, I think they gave a name. And you can see here, my high score so far is 91,125, which is actually pretty decent. That's not a bad score, so we'll see if we can beat it. I actually had someone at my party get 156, which is a great score. So let's see what happens. Okay, so here we are. The Journey members are jumping in the Scarab, which is their ship. And so here we are. We're presented here with 5 different levels. Each level represents a member of the band. So why don't we do the drum level first, okay? And so right now we're playing the level as the drummer, who is Steve Smith. And the object of this level is to jump on all these drums and turn them blue. Now, if we jump on them once, they turn blue. If we jump on them again, the same drum, it disappears. And the object here is just to turn them all blue. Now, we could try to get rid of all of them, and you'll get a little bonus, but that feels a little risky right now. I just kind of want to get through the game and show you guys kind of all the levels. So once you turn on the drums blue, Steve Smith is now behind the drums, and he's firing, well, they're not bullets, because I remember Journey or someone said that they didn't want any guns in their game. So I don't know what his drums are shooting exactly. And then you gotta just get past the yellow line. I read that, though, that like the band said, okay, well, you can make a game about us, but we don't want any violence, no guns. Okay, so now we're playing as Neil Schon, who is the guitarist in Journey, and he has a jetpack on, and we need to go down here and get his guitar, which is right there. And now we need to get out. And I usually do point press a little bit on this level. And you can point press by shooting those little scarabs or beetles, whatever they are. And Neil does have limited fuel, so we can't do this forever. I usually do it until I get the low fuel warning, because you'll pick up about 5,000 extra points here. And I'm just gonna kind of point press until I get that warning. Right there, it says low on fuel. Let's get out of here, cross the line. We have passed Neil Schon's levels. What did you guys think of that? I like that level, that's actually pretty clever. All right, so this is what, the bass player, Ross Valerie. Okay, so we gotta get to his bass, and this level's not too hard. And so we're jumping on these things. That timing takes a while to get used to. And same deal, we need to get out of here. These things are shooting records at us, and we need to cross the line on the bottom to clear the level. Not too hard right now, but once we go through the game once, it does really ramp up the difficulty. And so let's play as Steve Perry here. Let's get Steve's microphone. It says avoid the swinging gates. I love the MIDI music on this level, by the way. It's playing Don't Stop Believing. All right, so let's come down here, going through the gates. Don't want to touch the gates. Grab the microphone, and now we got to exit. And I do point press a little on this level. Just got a free life. I think you get one every 20,000 points. But same deal, we need to get past that yellow line. Should we do one more round of these? And then just get out of here. It's gonna get really hard if I don't get out of here soon. All right, so we're at 23,850, not too bad. All right, so the last level here is, what's his face? Jonathan Cain. It's kind of like a reverse Donkey Kong. So we're pressing up to jump. And you can kind of control him in the air left and right. All right. And Again, right now it's playing like MIDI versions of their music. And so on this level, I just kind of come up one side shooting. Again, I don't know what the piano's shooting because they said no violence and no guns. So I don't know what that piano is shooting right now. Let's kind of point press a little bit here. All right. So we're at 32,150. Okay, now listen. The tape player's gonna kick in. Hear that? So right now my tape player is playing, and I'm controlling the bouncer, trying to keep the groupies off the stage, and it's just left and right controls. Alright, so once one gets in, they all rush the stage, and they take all the instruments, and now it repeats. So, that is the game. That's every level, okay? Now the levels are gonna vary a little bit from level to level. The controls are gonna be a little different, like on the drums now. You have to push up to go high. We didn't have to do that on the first level. So now there's more of a variable here on the drums, and the drums actually get really hard. And in general, the game now is just gonna get harder and harder and harder. And the first time through, though, I think is very easy. The second time through is not very easy at all. I rarely can get through it twice. So maybe we'll have a good game. Shit. All right, come on. No. All right, so I'm in trouble here if I don't land on a drum. Please. All right. We gotta get that one. Please don't do any. All right, good. All right, so let's get out of here. And these guys are gonna be a lot more aggressive, coming up a lot faster than they were the first time around. And it's just a lot harder to find the opening here. Oh, come on. Let's go. Oh, shit. So that thing touched me and I died. So I do kind of fall apart the second time through. It's funny, I don't remember what I did to get that 91,000 score, but I've been trying the last couple weeks and I can't beat it. I was kind of hoping we would in this video. Oh. I'm curious how the new microphone is picking up the gameplay. The old microphone I had was really cheap, but I thought the audio quality was fairly decent. Alright, let's see if we can get past this. This just frustrates me. I haven't quite gotten down how to pass this level. Oh, it's that son of a... You know what? Let's come back to that level. Let's go do the Neil Schoen one, which is the guitar one. So the guitar now is in a different spot. Yeah, I think the gravity is a little ramped up too. He's falling at a faster rate. Alright, so I need to kind of wait here till that guy passes. Alright. Kind of doing some point pressing here. I'm really going to need it. This level, I feel it's pretty safe to point press. Because when you get the low fuel warning, you have plenty of time to get out of here. Alright, low on fuel. Let's get out. Alright, let's do Steve Perry's. So again, speed's a little more ramped up. The patterns are a little different, the way things move. Alright. I'm not sure how much I can get away with on this one, point pressing. Alright, good. So we're at 59,850. I think we're about to get a free life at 60,000. And we did. Alright. That level takes a while to get used to. You need a little bit of finesse to get through that. Alright, let's get out of here. right, so we're at 63,550. So let's see if we can pass this level. So those gates are moving a lot faster. Jump. So when I jump on the last one, you gotta kind of land. Wow, that's way faster. Get the... All right, come on, let's clear this. So there's my pattern for this level. I think we're gonna clear it. All right, so we're at 70,150. So if I can pass this one, I think we got a pretty good chance of getting my high score. Shit. So you guys like this game? Are any of you guys playing this game in MAME? I've actually had a bunch of people say they have been playing it in MAME since my restore. I think it's fun. I don't like the negative comments about it because I think it's unfair. I always hear negative comments about Tron 2, which is another game that I actually really enjoy. Oh, we gotta get out of here. So that thing like swings to one side. What is the pattern here? Oh, son of a gun. It's like I'm not getting something about that level. Try it one more time. Oh man, we gotta do the stupid drums again. This level's annoying, man. I'm just not getting something about that drum shooting part. Come on. Come on, land on a drum. Good. Good. Land. All right, come on. Let's do it. We're doing it. I just went straight down the right. Okay, there's a pattern right there. All right, so the song's gonna play. I'm kind of concentrating here. I actually really want to do well. So we're at 89,050, and my high score is 91,125. I think we could do it. I'm not doing that drum level. Which level am I best at? The Neil Schon one I think is pretty simple. I tend to pass that one all the time. All right, I think we're best off to do this one. So the guitar now is in the bottom left here. So again, a new spot for it. But I think I can clear this one. All right, let's get out of here. Oh my God, what are you doing? Oh my God. We're at 90,250. I need 1,000 points. Less than 1,000 points. Which level should I do? Should I go back to Neil Schon? No, let's go do this one. I hope I don't regret this choice here. Come on, John, don't die. Open. Shit. All right, come on. I'm like super nervous right now. This is so much harder than the first time around. Come on, give it to me. Get it. All right. All right. Well, we beat our previous high score. Well, that's good. Mission accomplished for this video. I actually thought about doing a John's Quest for 100,000 points in Journey. Boy, it sure be nice if we could do that. Nope. 95,075. Hey, that's a new high score for John. So I'll take it. I still have to get this other score in here. That guy got 156,000. So what do you guys think? Did you like Journey? Do you like the game? I do. I actually really do. I mean that. I think it's challenging. It really ramps up there. You could see that third time around, that was way harder and much different than the first time around. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Actually, that gameplay. We're not done with the video, by the way. We're going to do some viewer mail real quick. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Why don't we come back to the table? Let's do just a couple of viewer mails and we'll get out of here. I have to tell you guys, too, I don't think I'm going to have time this weekend to work on the 720. I got a lot going on. I don't know if I'm going to be home to do that. I got a lot on my plate this weekend, so I'm just kind of giving you guys heads up because I really wanted to do more. I want to get back to the tech videos, to be honest. I miss fixing stuff, and I want to kind of focus end of February and part of March on tech videos. I want to get back to fixing stuff and soldering things and all that. I want to rebuild the Gottlieb power supply on the Mad Planets. So I want to do more tech videos soon. I do want to get back to the Let's Play videos on Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., the John's Quest for videos. So, but this weekend, I don't think we're going to get to the 720. I'm just giving you guys heads up if you're expecting that this weekend because some stuff came up this weekend and I'm not going to be able to get to it. So, but we'll have another video. Don't worry. All right, so John, big fan of your videos. And by the way, this is viewer mail. If you've never watched the channel, this is what we call viewer mail, kids. And if you want to participate in viewer mail, you got to send them to me. You got to email them to blkdog7@gmail.com. That's blkdog, the number 7@gmail.com, which is blackdog7@gmail.com. And please, in the subject line, for me, please put viewer mail in the subject line. Okay, John, big fan of your videos. Have you ever had or plan to get the Super Chex Bubble Dome Hockey? Since you're from Chicago, I'm sure you've seen them before because they were pretty popular in the Boston area back in the 80s, another hockey town. Do you have any info on the maintenance of them? With all those moving parts, I'm sure they need to be well maintained. I'm thinking of getting one, but would like to hear your input on them. Also, do you plan on going to PAX East again this year? Thanks for all the entertaining vids, Dan Phillips. Well, Dan, you know what? I do know all about Super Chex. I know enough from a player's perspective because I used to play this a lot. Now, some people will call this bubble hockey because it has like this plastic bubble on the top. And the one thing I've learned since being in the arcade hobby is that this thing is extremely expensive, and I don't know why. This thing is pricey as all heck. And when I was in I think junior high school, you know, we all had the tabletop hockey games that emulated this. You know, this was the ultimate though. But we used to play a lot of tabletop hockey at my friend Pete's house, and we'd play like tournaments and stuff, and it was really intense. But this was the grande. I mean, this was oh my God, right? And so Super Chex is just uber cool. The thing about this game, though, it's actually pretty big. I could never fit one of these down here. And if I did, I'd have to get rid of the red tent or something. I would never do that. And also the price, these seem to be around $1,000 or more. Because I think these things still earn money on location. Now, I have to admit, Dan, that I really don't know anything about the maintenance of them, okay? I would imagine the mechanical aspect of it is very easy to maintain. I would imagine that that's nothing more than tightening screws and bolts and lubricating things. So my hunch is that this mechanical aspect here is very easy to maintain. And then there is some electronics in here, so you'd have to probably worry about power supplies and all that stuff, just like the dartboard. But I've never heard any bad things about this stuff. I think these things are fairly well designed, and I would get one of those in a heartbeat. If you got the room and the buddies to play that game, I would absolutely grab a Super Chex. I do think it's just super cool. So, yeah, Dan, you should get one of those, man. PAX East, I don't know if I'm going to PAX East this year. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Normally, when I go to PAX East in Boston, I go because I volunteer at the Fun Spot ACAM exhibit, okay? And they're not going this year. So, I don't have a way to get in. I don't have a pass. I don't have a purpose. So, if you guys can get me in, let me know. Because I normally don't put any effort into getting passes when they go on sale, because I always get to go with PAX. I mean, with ACAM. And this year I wasn't able to. So, all right, the next viewer mail is from Tiffany K. John, my husband found your channel a few months ago, and now our family is hooked. That's crazy to me. Your whole family is watching these videos? We are almost through the Journey Restoration series. Oh, good. I just made part number 18 just in time and have really enjoyed it. My husband is a child of the 80s and grew up playing video games in the local convenience stores. Actually, me too. I think I played most of my arcade games at 7-Eleven when I was home, and then campgrounds when I was traveling with my family. On little vacations. Because of your channel, my 6-year-old son is now completely into the classic arcade games. He shares his father's love of the games and plays them on MAME. That's awesome. He's better than his dad on Robotron and only started playing 3 days ago. That's pretty awesome. He built his own Lego arcade featuring Journey, Robotron, and Discotron, to name a few, as he has even made a video tour of his arcade. That is so cool. I've seen some actually pretty great Lego arcades and stuff, so that's awesome that their son is doing that and making little videos. We live in southeast Pennsylvania and are planning a camping road trip this summer to Fun Spot. Can you recommend any other places on the way that would be worth checking out? All right, let me think about this. So you're coming up from Pennsylvania, the southeast, and okay, so does that mean you go through Philly? So in Philly, there's a barcade in Philadelphia. I haven't been there, but it's there. I think it's a pretty good place. So the barcade is in Philly if you're going that way. What else is in? Okay, New Jersey. You're gonna be going through Jersey, right? Well, Richie Knuckles has an arcade there somewhere. I haven't been to his new place. I don't even know what town it's in, but you could certainly Google that. And then you probably come up into, you might go into New York, I guess. Well, in Manhattan, there's Barcade again. There's a really cool pinball place in Manhattan. The name escapes me right now. But you're probably not going into Manhattan, especially if you're camping. But so Connecticut, I can't really think of any good arcades in Connecticut at all. Nothing. So you come up through Connecticut into Massachusetts. So in Massachusetts, what do we have here? Well, there's Lanes and Games Arcade in Cambridge. That's like the only really public arcade that I have been to in this state. Yeah, Lanes and Games Arcade, which is in a bowling alley, which is a lot of fun. The arcade's not gigantic. And then you're going to go into New Hampshire. Okay, so in New Hampshire, you got some choices. A lot of choices, actually. So on your way up to Fun Spot in New Hampshire, you can stop at Pinball Wizard Arcade in Pelham, New Hampshire. Now, I did a video of that, remember? And if you didn't see that, go back and watch that. That is a place worth visiting, okay? And then there's another arcade in New Hampshire called, I think, Funland, which I was going to go to. I don't know anything about that place. I can't recommend it, but if you're coming into New Hampshire, I would definitely make a stop in Pelham, New Hampshire and go to Pinball Wizard. And then when you get up in Laconia and Wares Beach, where Fun Spot is, there's a ton of stuff. There's a boardwalk near Fun Spot. It's on the water. There's all kinds of arcades. You're going to be an arcade overload up there. So I think New Hampshire is going to be your best bet, unless you go into Manhattan and seek out some of those places. And then a couple little tiny places in between. But when you get up here to New Hampshire, you're going to be pretty happy with the arcade scene if that's what you're looking for. So Tiffany, I hope I helped you. I definitely would put Pinball Wizard Arcade in Pelham, New Hampshire, and high on your list, and of course Fun Spot. And then in Laconia, there's a bunch of places on the boardwalk there. All right, let's read one more here. All right, so this one is from Tim, aka Jumble Junkie. And Tim's a friend of mine. So when Tim sent me this viewer mail, I was like, wow, Tim's sending me a viewer mail. Hey, John, it's your buddy, Tim, a.k.a. Jumble Junkie. First, I just want to say I really like what you have done with your show recently. The intros and the viewer mail make it feel more like a show and not just a vlog. You are now the true YouTube king. Well, Tim, thank you. And you know what? I've always called Tim... I've always introduced him as a YouTube superstar because he is. You guys need to check out Jumble Junkie's channel. If you go on my homepage, he's on the right side. I have people I like, and his is near the top. He's one of the first YouTube guys I really kind of followed, and I've met him in person a few times. And he's been on Video Game Outsiders podcast a bunch. Anyways, to my question, he says, since I don't get to talk to you often anymore, In the past year or two, I have been in an arcade slump. And by the way, Tim's got a great collection in his basement, so watch his videos. I walk by my games every single day, and I don't turn them on very often. I still admire all the work I put into making my collection what it is today, but I feel like I have lost the spark. I understand repairs are part of the hobby, but I still feel like even after all these years, some stuff is completely foreign to me. After a few failed cap kits, hard to find boards, I get frustrated and don't want to be that whining guy on forums. I still love the arcade hobby and I would never fire sale my collection or anything, but what can I do to re-spark the love of the hobby? Love you, buddy. Keep up the awesome work. Tim, a.k.a. Jumble Junkie. Well, Tim, this kind of makes me sad, pal. What's going on here? I didn't know that you were in an arcade slump. I know that you slowed down on the videos, so you need some advice. How do you get out of this rut, this groove? Well, Tim, I think you need to have some minor accomplishments. Don't aim high right now, okay? I think that don't take on a big project. Don't take on a big restore to rekindle your interest. Why don't you take on some very small projects, Tim? I think that might get you excited. Why don't you replace some buttons, okay? Why don't you replace a control panel overlay? Why don't you dial in a monitor? Take on a nice, easy task that you know you can do. Maybe you'll get your kind of mojo back. Maybe you'll get some of that drive back if you kind of get some accomplishments under your belt, Tim. Why don't you try that? Why don't you take on something small? Do something. Why don't you play a game? Why don't you play for high score? Put a little card on your game like I do, and say, you know what? We're gonna try to get 100,000 on Donkey Kong, which, by the way, I think Tim can on Junior. On Donkey Kong, Tim, you're pretty good though. You were beating me for a while there. Maybe we have a Donkey Kong tournament. Maybe, Tim, that's how you get back in the hobby. Maybe that's how you get your groove back. I don't know, man. I think you should do something small, do minor things, maybe film it, put it on YouTube, get some feedback from the community. You know, maybe that'll get you motivated. But I think doing some small stuff right now, Tim, is what you need. You need to feel like you accomplished something. You need to accomplish some small goals, and then maybe, since you're kind of in a rut, start small and build back up to where you were. And play the games, man. Set a goal for the game. Do a high score, Tim. So I don't know, man. Does that help you? Tim does it. I really hope that you're happy. Tim actually has a great finished game room. I'm actually pretty jealous of it. So do check out Tim's YouTube channel and leave him some comments. Tell him that, Tim, come on, make more videos. We love you. He's got a sock puppet, for God's sakes. Should I get a puppet, like a little like a ventriloquist dummy? Little John. Hey guys, how you doing? Anyway, all right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you guys like Journey? Did you like the part 18? I think now I've pushed my Journey hour count to well over 24 hours. I've done probably more Journey videos than anyone has ever done, ever, in the history of videotape. I've filmed probably 24, 25 hours of video now on this topic, and this is it. This is it. We're done. We got closure. This is the last video, part number 18. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you guys are watching the restores still and you're finally getting to this, I hope you enjoyed the whole series, because it really was a giant task. It consumed most of 2014 to me. It seemed like it would not end, honestly. And near the end there, I was just like, it just won't end. What do I need to do to make this happen faster? So, but it all came together in the end, and I'm very proud of the journey. I mean, I really am. I love it so. It's so great. So, anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you've never subscribed to my channel, go ahead, click subscribe. I release new videos every Sundays and sometimes in between, like this video. And if you want to keep up, you got to click subscribe. And then also check out my two podcasts. One is called Video Game Outsiders at videogameoutsiders.com. The other is Arcade Outsiders at arcadeoutsiders.com. And again, thank you to everyone that supported me and helping me get this microphone. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. You guys, I have the best viewers, period. And, you know, I'm very proud of what we're doing here with these videos. I am, and your guys' support just validates it and makes me want to do it more. So thank you very much. I'm getting choked up. I gotta. You know, talking in these videos for like 2 hours, like over an hour nonstop. It's hard to do without a beverage. You know, when I podcast, I do like 4 or 5 hours a night, but I always have a drink right there, and because I just can't talk and talk and talk without a drink. Anyway, thanks again, guys, for supporting me, and if you haven't or you want to, click the support button on the homepage, but I won't push it too much now. But if you do want to support, if I've helped you out, feel free. Go on the YouTube homepage and press support. And my PayPal is blkdog7@gmail.com. And that's also the same email address you guys can send viewer mail. So if you got viewer mail questions, send them there. All right, guys, we're done. Enough. We're out of here. Later and bye.